This is a new segment on my channel called Baller Talk, where I pretty much talk about whatever I want. So let's get started. Now, ever since my channel started, I've been promising to do this video, talking about the history of Mego'S. When you go way back on my channel, when I reviewed Superman from the Retro Action line, then you'll see what I mean. But, so I'm finally going to do it. Now, if you want to learn more about the projects they've done, then check out these two books. Volume 1 and Volume 2. I recommend getting these books because they are really nice. They tell you the price of the figures, and they're a little old, so the prices are a little off. But it's great. You get a lot of information. You get a lot of what they've done. I mean, you just get so much info. So these are worth tracking down and trying to find. The names of these books are Mego'S, Action Figures, Toys. There you go. Great book. So let's get started. The father of the modern-day action figure is Martin Adams. I am so sorry if I mispronounced his last name. Now, his son kept asking him to go to work with, if he wanted to go to work with his father. So he said, Mego, Mego. Hence the term Mego. And that's how they got the name Mego. Mego'S ran from the 60s to the 80s and were revolutionary in a lot of ways. The first way was that the figures, what makes the figures so cool is that they were articulated. And they actually looked like the superheroes. Figures back then, if you want to figure if you're a superhero, it didn't look anything like the hero very much. And they were static, non-articulated. So these things were cool. The boxes were awesome. The boxes back then were just plain old cardboard. They actually detailed the boxes and to capture, people like, hey, I want to get this because it's a cool box. That is what made them revolutionary. They're also, here's the fact, kids used to steal the boxes. And that's why they switched the card backs. And they invented the card backs. So a lot of what we see today is because of Mego. And what makes them really cool is that they are the first figures to use cloth costumes, which is accurate to how they look. And they did more stuff. They did vehicles. They did actual action figures like Buck Rogers. They did these really cool things that were like stretchy figures. They were figures that you could pull and stretch. And they did Plastic Man, Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man, stuff like that. So that was awesome. I don't have any, but I would like to get a Plastic Man. And it's the most sought after of those, and it can get pretty expensive. And another thing that's really cool, what makes them so cool, is that they are the biggest company, and one of the few to actually do Marvel and DC. Not many people do that, and that is awesome. Just in that regard, that is really cool. Now, here's the bad news. They closed in the 80s because oil prices went up, and the oil they used for the figures got more expensive. So the figures were more expensive, and people wouldn't buy them, which is unfortunate. Another thing that really wasn't good for them was that they were offered to do Star Wars Mego'S. And now they jump on it like that, but they thought Star Wars was just going to be a money pit and not worth it. That was really wrong. It turned out to be, it is very popular. Star Wars is huge. I mean, seriously. If you've not heard of Star Wars, you must live under a rock. But anyway, so that is one thing that really got down. And there were some heroes they never get to do, like Flash. I think Green Lantern was one. Trying to think who else. There were a couple characters that were never done. I think Wonder Woman was one. And I believe Captain America as well, and Hawkman. But there were some figures that were just never done, which is really unfortunate. So yeah. That's the history of Mego'S. Okay, so we're back to the book, and I want to show you some cool stuff. I'm going to go through the pages and show you what they did. They did a lot of great stuff, if I may. So one of the stuff they did was, oh, here's one, Zorro. They did Zorro. How awesome is that? So they did Zorro. They did, I'm going to try and find a picture of what the box looked like. Here's some of their displays. Mego advertisement. They did Tarzan, not the Disney Tarzan, but the real Tarzan. That is cool. The card back pictures. There you go. They did a lot of great stuff, and by far they were way ahead of their time. They were just amazing. They are easily the best original toys you will ever find in your life. They are that good. And I can honestly say that I am glad my dad got me into these things. In fact, here. See, I told you they were doing Buck Rogers. They did Kiss. They did Kiss. Holy crud, they did Kiss. Which is, that's interesting. I did not know that. Look at this. They did the Dukes of Hazzard. The Dukes of Hazzard. They did that. They did the Brady Bunch, I believe. They did the Wizard of Oz. They did a lot of stuff. They did Star Trek. Oh, did they do Star Trek? The Star Trek stuff is so hard to find, but they did Star Trek, and it was great. They did Captain Kirk. I'm a big fan of Captain Kirk. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I don't keep up with the modern stuff, but I do follow the old stuff, and the old stuff was great. I saw the movie, too. The movie was awesome. King Kong. They did King Kong. King Kong's awesome. They did James Bond. There's Jaws. They did James Bond. That's awesome. They did Planet of the Apes, too. That's great. They did Planet of the Apes. What else did they do? Here's some more Planet of the Apes stuff. They did Planet of the Apes Mego'S. That's awesome. Let's see. They were actually invented these stretchy figures that, you know how we get those figures that the arms have a wire in it? They were the ones who invent those, and here are some of the figures. They did superheroes, but there's some Planet of the Apes. I'm just looking through this book totally on planes, just to let you know. Aha! The Wizard of Oz. I told you they did the Wizard of Oz. Why would anyone buy a Wizards of Oz toy? Just say it. Here we are. These are the stretchy plastic figures. They also invented figures that had sound effects, which was way ahead of its time. There's the Wizard of Oz versions. They did superheroes. Let's see. Here are some of the play sets. This one is a Wonder Woman playset. That's cool. It's the Invisible Jet toy. They also invented the 3-inch figures. They did some stuff. They did, I think they invented, Pocket Heroes. I think that's the name of it is. Here's some vehicles. There was a Batchopter. Here is a Spider-Man climbing a skyscraper. That's cool. They were way ahead of their time. Here's some more of the figures. You can see. They did a lot of great stuff. Here they are. Here are the normal action figures, and then did 3-inch figures. Let's see. Here are the stretchy figures. These are awesome. There's Plastic-Man. Plastic-Man is the Plastic-Man is the most sought after of those stretchy figures, and they stretch. In fact, you could do that with them, and that is painful. Now, Plastic-Man sells for, if you're lucky, $75, but it can go online for $200, and it actually lists the price. And what's interesting is that the prices have gone so much up. You can easily pay $500 for Plastic Man, and I want a Plastic Man. Here we are, Pocket Superheroes. They invented the 3-inch figures. They were the inventors of the 6-inch figures. How awesome is that? Not 6-inch, the 3-inch. What am I saying? Batcave. They did lots of Batcave playsets. They were just way ahead of their time. They were amazing. They are the best. Here are the superhero talking. Yeah, these are dolls, but they talk. That's way ahead of its time. Here are the Mego'S. We got the figures here. The only thing I find really weird about this is that the Hulk is in here with the DC stuff. And you got DC and you got Thor here, which is really strange. And Falcon. They're Marvel. You got the Marvel Heroes, which doesn't have a DC guy in it. And no, Green Goblin did not get his glider. But we have a picture of the original Teen Titans, which was Speedy, Wonder Gal, Kid Flash, and Aqualad. And I actually have a Kid Flash, and I am so lucky too, because these things sell for insane amount of money. They are really expensive. Here, these are the original boxes. These are, where is it? There. There's the newer boxes. So they invented the card backs. Because kids would steal them and use trading cards. You know, they even did civilian forms. Like there's Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. I think there's a Clark Kent in here. Here are the Teen Titans packaging. These things sell for a lot of money. It did a lot of Batmobiles. Most of these are based on the Adam West Batmobile. They did the Batcycle, the Batchopter. They did a lot of stuff. They even made these accessory packs. Superman and Batman. they were just ahead of their time. They were insane. They were geniuses. And in my opinion, they are the best toy company in the history. They are the first, the best. Mattel, Bandai, you don't even come close. But Mattel, Hasbro, Spin Masters, you guys are good. In my opinion, the old school Megos, the best toy, the best manufactured toys ever. And I really like those guys, except for Bandai of America. I don't like Bandai of America that much, but with these Thundercats toys, it's redeeming my faith in them. But the point is that I have a very high standard and of Mego. Mego's just very high on my how I view them, and they just are great, and I really like them. So this concludes our first ever Battle Ball talk, and I will see you guys tomorrow with a very, and I mean extremely very special video review. As always, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and check out that Facebook page I made called Video Central, and I will see you later. Link in the description. Adios.